one chance. There's no turning back, and half these cats will snake you the minute you turn your back. I'm trying to earn a stack where you cats are burning crack and leave you comedians dead. Bernie Mac, my mind's gone, I'm a motherfucking time bomb, and I got wires that shock you like you climbed on the pine.
Welcome to another episode of Krazys Cookbook. Today I'm going to be cooking duck à l'orange. Yeah, it's a bit of an old school dish, maybe like the 80s crew and said they wanted their food back. But before I get into some deep duck dishes, I thought I may as well go through the classics and explain how to get it done first, because a lot of you don't even know how to do it properly. So yeah, check this out. Before I start on the duck, I'm going to do some potatoes with rosemary and red onion, and I'm going to get that chopped up just real basic like that. Straight down there and small into quarters again. So I want it quite small. So like that, and half again. It's quite small potatoes, but I want the skin on, so it adds a nice bit of extra texture. So bosh like that. I'll come back to you when I've done some more of these. I've chopped up the potatoes, enough of what I'm doing, and I've put the oven on, preheating it to 220, so I'm getting that ready. And now garlics, okay, I'm just gonna do the usual, knife on top, squish it down, and that makes the skin come off a lot easier. Like that, nice and simple. And now all I'm gonna do, because the potatoes are quite small, I'm not gonna chop up too finely. I'm chop them up into quite big chunks. I don't want them to burn and turn into nothingness in the oven with the potatoes. And garlic's really good for you, especially this time of year when there's bare flus and, you know, mystical diseases going around. Next, okay, some onion. I'm going to get 2 of these because they're quite small. The supermarket's not been very kind on size again. But all I'm going to do with these ones, I'm going to chop them in half like that, and half again. Just like I did the potatoes, so it matches the size. Like that, and like that. And I'm going to do that with 2 onions. There's quite a fair bit in there. Right, next up, I want to put some rosemary inside of this. So I'm going to take it off the branch because I want that to spread around on there. The easiest way to do that is literally just grab it by the top and run your fingers down it, and it'll just come off. Like that. Now, I put loads of rosemary on there because I want that flavour to come out fully. It tastes amazing. And also, I've got cracked cracked pepper and pink Himalayan salt already grinded up. Put a nice amount of that on there with some oil, and get all Jamie Oliver on that. Put enough of that on there. You want that all to sink into the potato, and mix that up. And that is our potatoes to serve with the duck à l'orange, and that will go in now for about 20 minutes. So I have the duck, and one thing I want to do is make sure the duck is really dry because we want to get the skin crispy. So I'm going to get some of this, I'm going to dab the kitchen roll on top, and that should take out any moisture. You can see it coming through, so it was worth doing. And I've got some on the bottom as well. Yeah, chuck that in the bin. And next, I want to start scoring the duck. So I'm going to put lines across it. Don't go straight through to the meat underneath, but just literally try and get the sharpest knife you've got, and just run it across, and run it across, run it across, run it across, run it across. You have to excuse this knife, it's not the sharpest one. I think I really need to upgrade. On top of that, obviously I do that on the other one. You will get loads and loads of salt in there. Loads of salt, and that's going to help extract the moisture, but that's also going to crisp it up really well. And I've got a bit of cracked black pepper in there as well, but not that much in there. So I will let the sauce do the flavour in. And I pack that into all the gaps. Make sure there's a nice coat of that on there. I've left the salt on salt and pepper, on the duck breasts to let it take some of the moisture out again. One thing I want to do now before I chuck it on the heat, is one more time just give it a pat down, because as I said, the salt will be drawing that moisture out. So look, and you'll see on there now, I've done that, it's brought even more out. So I'm sure cutting up probably helped with that process as well. And now I've done that, I will chuck a little bit more seasoning on top as well, just to make up for the lost seasoning. Yeah, it might seem like I'm putting a lot of salt on it, which is good salt. Trust me, it works. Right, now the pan is heated up. Now I don't want it all the way up to full on there. Duck's not like a steak. Don't just want to chuck it on and burn the shit out of it. With this, what you want to do is like gently render the fat down, because there's a lot of fat on these duck breasts. A lot of fat. So yeah, if you put them on there gently, without any oil as well, because the oil will come off that skin down. You notice it's sizzling. It's got a nice heat there ready. And that needs to be on there for about 6 minutes. About 6 minutes before you do anything to it. Just let it cook down on itself.
This is no not to put my name in the statement. On the real, I deserve the deal, cause the track you getting killed from. Crazy as the proof in the basement. The haters are hating.
Okay, so I did say don't do anything for 6 minutes, yeah? I meant don't disturb it. But look at the amount of oil that's come off of that, yeah? I'm going to pour some of that out because I don't want that burning. So, that is duck fat. And it's delicious, so I'm going to save that for the sauce. I'm going to pour that into a cup. Right, this has now been 6 minutes and I haven't cheated. Just have a look. Oh wow, that is perfect. It's got that golden glaze that we wanted. I drained off the fat, as I say, because I didn't want it to burn. Yeah, that couldn't come out better. That's it. Right, so it needs to be cooked on this side for now for about 4 minutes. But here, this is when I'm going to introduce some more garlic and some butter. You know I love the butter in there. And some rosemary. And some thyme as well. That's going to cook for 4 minutes. And I'm going to spoon that on top to make sure that flavour goes inside of there as well. Right, so I've spooned this over the top for about 4 or 5 minutes. I don't want too much on the other side, so I want it to still be nice and pink a bit in the middle. I don't like it too pink. Some people like it like rare. I like it medium. I think most people like it medium. If people say they like it rare, they're lying or trying to look posh. It tastes better this way. So I'm going to put that on the side, and I'm going to let that rest now for about 5 to 10 minutes while I cook the sauce down. Okay, now I'm going to make the orange sauce. So orange sauce, you know, if you're not posh. But yeah, I've got a grater. I haven't got anything to take the zest off properly. But this will do, just run it around the grater, that'll take some out. I got a little trick in a minute anyway. We'll get a little bit more than that needed. But yeah, once you've got that off of an orange, yeah, so voila, then you want some red wine vinegar. Now I've got a hot pan here, so I'm going to put some of that in here before it all burns to nothingness. And I'm going to add a little bit of sugar on top of that. Takes that vinegary edge off. Now I'm going to get the orange that I just took the zest off of. And I'm going to squeeze the juice in there. I mean, if you've got a juicer, feel free to use it. But I think this gets all of the juice out if you do it this way. Hands on. I mean, you could probably use orange juice, but fresh juice is always better. Anyone will tell you that. Okay, I'm going to get the zest and put it on top of there. Also, I'm going to get some thick cut marmalade, which has got the zest in there as well. And I'm going to put 2 spoons of this in it. Let that melt down. As well as some rosemary. Okay, now I need to put some butter in the sauce as well. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And whilst that's melting into it, I'm going to get my veg on as well at the same time. hopefully the timing should be good. So I'm going to be doing trim beans with this. Now I've got the hot water, it's on the heat, so I'm just going to chuck them in there, in the back. And whilst that's going on, I will be stirring my sauce. I'm making sure the marmalade all cooks down properly, because you don't want lots of marmalade on the plate at the end when it's done.
Dark drips left on any surface that's targeted. Blazing steady, waiting for the karma hit. Still fox screwing at life.
Okay, now I've tasted the sauce and it was really good, but it just probably needed a bit more orange. So I've decided to squeeze a whole next orange in there. Just to bring out the orange flavour. As I say, I really want this to be orangey. And yeah, you know, you can tell from your taste whether it's right or not. So yeah, one more orange is going to do the job. And I'm going to stir that up and reduce that down. I'm going to get this duck and I'm going to chop this up now. It's been resting for about 10 minutes. It's super juicy. Now inside, it should still be pinkish. I'm going to cut down. Try and make it as thin as possible. Okay, now I've got these duck breasts chopped up. I'm going to put it on the dish and I'll catch you on the tasting part. Fun.
So I got that work for the fees. Murderous schemes and getting peas. You need to get your grind on before your time's gone. Life's too short for playing around. I hear cats talking there.
Okay, so here it is. Yeah, duck à l'orange, a duck and orange sauce. Right, posh. But yeah, banging. And here's the proof. I'm not just taking pictures. Oh, thank God. That's delicious. Really, really good. And look, there's a little bit of pink in there. I do prefer it without the pink, but yeah, beautiful. Tastes fantastic. Now, we shouldn't eat with my mouth full, so yeah, go. It's the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Cook some duck à l'orange. See you.